are back at the Richmond Speed Skating Oval in beautiful Richmond, British Columbia. I am Paul Curenza alongside Tim Frick, bringing you the next game of the final gold medal Saturday. We bring you the bronze medal matchup between Brazil and Mexico. Bronze medal on the line here in this tournament, but as we talked about before, Tim, whole lot more than just a medal riding on this game.
Well, absolutely. This is a one-game shot at a free, well, not a free trip, but certainly a spectacular trip to Birmingham, England. You might not normally go to Birmingham on your holidays, but you would definitely go there if you're a wheelchair basketball player next July at the as the city of Birmingham hosting the 2010 World Championships. And Paul, just as an aside, BC had bid on the 2010 championships. We're finalists in that process. We're planning on holding them right here at the Richmond Oval as we sit here beside the picturesque Fraser River, watching Mexico and Brazil getting set to do battle for third place and a chance to represent the Americas in 2010.
Well, as a university basketball coach, I find whenever I'm recruiting, you can watch teams play at the provincial championships. You qualify for provincial championships. You play for the provincial championship. But once you get to the provincials, you have 4 games and then you're done. No ifs, ands, or buts. You go and watch the qualification tournaments for that championship, and you start watching players play to extend their careers or players to play to keep playing, and that's when you really find out what an athlete is made of and the intangibles. These two teams, obviously U.S. and Canada coming up next playing for the gold medal, should be an outstanding matchup, but both teams had to have been breathing a minor sigh of relief when they qualified for the Worlds. These two teams, so much on the line. We really will see them put everything on the line here today.
Oh, that's right, Paul. So we're off.
We're underway as Eric Da Silva controls to Marcos Da Silva, the star perimeter player for the Brazilian team. He had such a great game yesterday against Canada, and he starts off looking for the long three right away. That one is short. Rebound, Di Miranda. He puts it up and scores off to a fast start, just like he was yesterday, off to a fast start against the Canadians. So Di Miranda, 2 points right out of the gate. Brazil draws first blood, and here comes Mexico. Of course, led by Zavala and their premier leader, that was Raul Ortega, who will be coming off the bench today.
That's right, and it looks like Eduardo Prieto getting the start at the low post, and we see him cutting inside the key there, but Zavala definitely their high scorer, and
Prieto inside. Making the Mexican coach look like a genius. Ortega on the bench, right, Prieto with the basket and the foul, and a nice pass to find him inside from Pablo Vasquez.
Exactly, and these two teams have had many close games over the years. The last one, Brazilians eking out the victory in Brazil at Rio de Janeiro at the Pan American Games, which also served as the qualifier for the Beijing Paralympics. Prior to that, Mexico victorious in the 2005 qualifier, and they went on to represent the Americas zone in Amsterdam at the Gold Cup in 2006.
Well, Prieto gets a second chance as it was Pessoa with the violation, and he makes no mistake. 3-2 Mexico on top. Just underway here in the bronze medal game, 2009 America's Cup wheelchair basketball qualifying tournament. Marcos Da Silva now works from the left-hand side. Thought about a shot, now goes inside to Di Miranda. Up and in, basket and foul, and looks as though the officials, similar to the game last night, are calling it pretty tight in the early going.
Well, that's true, and it's not a bad idea when you get two hot-blooded teams playing each other. You want to make sure that things don't get out of control, and the pace of the game these days, Paul. 40, 50 years ago, the guys weren't nearly going at the speed they are now. So nowadays a cheap little clip in the back of the wheels can seriously injure a player who's going like lightning down the court. So referees wise to keep a lid on it early.
Di Miranda converts. He has all 5 Brazil points, leading 5-3 in the early going. Vasquez now, long cross-court pass for Zavala, picked off by Marcos Da Silva, and he is bumped, and that will be a Mexican foul. Ball will go back to Brazil with a fresh 24.
Well, the referees for this game, Guylain Lapointe from Canada, the police detective out of Montreal, John Burford from Georgia, state of Georgia, United States, and Karsten Railing, the exchange referee from European Zone, German referee, handing the ball in now to Pessoa of Brazil for the throw-in.
Here's De Silva working on the high side, coming off the Eric De Silva screen. Now he rejects it, goes back, and will reset at the top. Thought about a three. Prieto gets a hand up inside Di Miranda, inside of Zavala, and he scores again uncontested. 7 points for Di Miranda, and none of them have been contested at all, have they?
That's right. Yeah, Di Miranda, a big, strong post player, showing some nifty moves there to get inside pretty well unscathed against the slightly smaller yet skilled Mexican team. And you may notice that we're playing 4-on-4 here for a while, and there's a couple of players got their chairs tied up in the back court. Referee Karsten Railing down there making sure that they get apart safely, and back they come.
Second foul against the Brazilians, called against Carvalho. And back comes Mexico, trailing by 4 here in the early going. Zavala, not a lot of room as he's working around with Blancas. Spinning away from Marcos De Silva, 16 on the shot clock, goes cross court to Prieto. Prieto shot up and no good, gets his own rebound, get a second chance at it. This time he converts. And it looks like the game plan for both teams is to get that ball inside, Tim.
Well, so far so good with the two big men, Prieto and Di Miranda, providing all the scoring until
Eric De Silva walks right in and gets up with the left side layup. 9-5, Brazil on top, off to a furious click offensively.
That's the first fast break we've seen from Brazil, and that is their trademark.
Well, Vasquez working into the corner for Blancas. Blancas thinks about a shot, now takes it, but offensive foul called. That'll go against Prieto, and that will be the third foul against Mexico already with 7 minutes to go here in the first.
I mean, the two players jockeying for position there, Paul. I mean, you think about the running game, you see the low block, two players jostling and jostling and jostling, and that's exactly what happened there. I'm really not a big fan of a foul being called in a situation like that.
Pass inside, Eric De Silva, and he scores his second straight basket. 11-5, Brazil on top. All of the points come in the paint so far for the Brazilians.
Mexico is going to have to tighten up that trademark defense of theirs, and up until this point in the tournament, their defense has been quite good, but we see them a little bit porous in the early going here.
And again, Prieto gets tied up with De Silva. Fresh 24, as referee deemed that it was the Brazilian player that caused the lockup. Vasquez inside, nice pass to Lugo. He gets it up, no good. Rebound for De Silva, and back come the Brazilians. Nice leak out pass for Eric De Silva as he pushes it up over center for the Brazilians. Eric De Silva has the last 4 Brazil points. To Marcos De Silva has yet to score, but they certainly haven't needed him yet. Pass inside, nice pass. First chance no good, second chance won't good for Di Miranda. And back comes Mexico, but De Silva steals that pass looking for Vasquez, and Brazil will get another crack at it as Di Miranda had a chance to add to his point total but couldn't convert inside. Long pass for Eric De Silva, just controls it on the far baseline with 15 on the shot clock. Eric De Silva now turns the corner, thinks about a shot, now gets it up, and that one is nothing but net. Pure stroke for Eric De Silva. He now has 6 straight points. Di Miranda with 7, Eric De Silva with 6. Brazil up 13-5 early.
And the Brazilians picking up where they left off yesterday against Canada with that intensity and focus, both at the offensive end and the defensive end.
Vasquez working around. Zavala wanted the pass. Now goes inside to Vasquez. To Blancas. Blancas scoops it up. That one won't go. Rebound to Silva, and he gets it out to Marcos De Silva. Marcos De Silva gathering speed through the middle. Gets it over to Pessoa. Left-hand layup is up and in. Nice job from Pessoa, and Mexican coaching staff has seen enough. 15-5, Brazil leading. Timeout, Mexico, and it's been all Brazil in the early going, Tim.
Wow, and the Mexican coach, Aaron Davila, we see him down there squatting down talking to his teammate or his team players about the things that they need to change in order to stop Brazil from getting those easy baskets. And you know, when you see Eric Da Silva shooting that long two like that, absolutely uncontested, you know, it's got to make you wonder what the Mexicans are doing. Up until now, great defense by Mexico, tough, strong chair defense. Got a lot of those mid-class players, and you know, usually keep the opponents a long way from the hoop. But Di Miranda and Da Silva just having their way with the Mexican defense, and Mexico unable to really convert, coming back the other way.
Well, they started strong. They found Prieto twice for 2 early baskets, but they have got nothing since. And like you said, more important than that, they got to find a way to stop the Brazilians, who are scoring with absolute ease, shooting 70% already.
And Brazil, who are a very good full court pressing team, electing not to press here early on, going with a straight matchup defense inside the 3-point line, and just keeping the Mexicans just enough out of their shooting range that they're unable to score.
Prieto long pass looking for Lugo.
And Marcos Da Silva with another interception. And he
pass inside handled by Prieto. Stolen, and back come the Mexicans.
And Marcos Da Silva with the bounce pass off the knees of Eric Da Silva.
Pass for Zavala now. Zavala waiting for some help. 10 on the shot clock, gives it back to Prieto. Prieto working against Pessoa. Time running out with 5 on the shot clock.
20 feet of the hoop right now, Paul, and it forced to settle for that long shot, but
Zavala misses the 3, but Prieto cleans it up, and he is fouled from behind. Can't convert, but will go to the free throw line.
And the only way the Mexicans have been able to penetrate the key is on long shots that have produced long rebounds, and that's not exactly the offense that Coach Davila drew up, I don't think.
15-5 Brazil up early on the Mexican team. They've done it with inside play, as it was Di Miranda with 7 straight to start the game, as Prieto has all 6 points for Mexico, and then Eric Da Silva with 6 points after that before Pessoa scoring in transition. So 15-6 Brazil on top, and they've been in control most of the way.
That's right. And the young Prieto, 23 years old, we expect to see a lot out of him in the future. Right now, he's all Mexico has, though.
Second free throw is up and good. As looks like we have into the game for Mexico is Garcia and Ortega, replacing Prieto and Vasquez. And Prieto with all 7 points. I understand you want to stay with Zavala, but maybe reward Prieto. He's done an outstanding job.
The problem is that Vasquez was having such a bad game that he needed to come out, and you know, because of the classification system and the way you have to match up your points, the only way to get him out of there and put someone in more effective is unfortunately to take a pair of players out. So Prieto and Vasquez coming out in favor of the veteran Raul Ortega, and I forget who else came in. Blancas, was it? Or
it was
Garcia,
Prieto and Garcia came into the game. Yeah. We have a timeout here. Bronze medal game, Brazil leading Mexico 15-7 here in the first quarter. Winner, of course, takes home the bronze, but more importantly, qualifies for the 2010 World Championships to be held in Birmingham, England in 2010. Right after that, of course, we have Canada versus the United States in the gold medal match. Should be an outstanding matchup, and anticipating a pretty huge crowd for that one as well, Tim.
Well, there'll be a great crowd, and just to go back to that mathematical equation there, Prieto a 4, Vasquez a 2, so that's 6 points. Coming into the game, Ortega a 3.5, Garcia a 2.5, that's also 6 points. So you can see you can't really get Vasquez out of there and put Garcia in, because you'd be a half a point over, so you got to go a half a point the other way. And our favorite player, really, Raul Ortega into the game, but it would be nice if there was a lineup that could see Prieto in there, because, as you say, he has scored
certainly.
7 points.
And I mean, I guess at this point, obviously Zavala, the captain, he's had an outstanding tournament. You really can't necessarily take him out, even though it's been Prieto. You really need Zavala in there. Zavala finds Garcia. Nice fake. Shot is up and good. Shot knocked down. Saul Garcia with his first points of the game and already making his presence felt.
Well, that's right. Garcia, a tall, class 2.5, so giving his team a bit of advantage there in terms of the matchups.
As De Silva inside Di Miranda with room underneath. Layup is up and good. And right now Brazil scoring with absolute ease inside. Ortega now working. He's got Zavala with them. Zavala working against De Silva. Zavala is bumped, but a good no call there as it looked as though De Silva had chair position there. And
De Silva had excellent chair position. There really wasn't any, it was more incidental contact than anything else. Nice no call by the ref.
Pessoa can't finish. Rebound controlled by Blancas. And Zavala not happy about that. And back comes Ortega. Ortega works back around. Working off the Blancas screen. Now he gets it to Zavala. Zavala thinks about a shot. Now puts it up from 15 feet. That one won't go.
But no balance from the Mexicans. Raul Ortega, at the point, passing that ball down into the wing, following the ball down, and all 5 Mexicans that time below the hash marks, and the Brazilians streaking out. The Mexicans are very fortunate that Brazil not able to get a fast break out of that.
17-9, Brazil leads by 8. 3 minutes to go here in the first quarter. Marcos de Silva hasn't been scoring, but he's certainly been initiating all of the inside scoring as he goes inside to Di Miranda again. This time he corrals it but doesn't have a shot, gets it back out to Pessoa for de Silva. Works off of the Pessoa screen. Pass inside, nice pass to Di Miranda. His shot is up and good. Mexico's going to have to figure something out or this one could get ugly quick.
Well, it's all about chair position, really, and Zavala, as much as he is a veteran and the Mexican high scorer for the tournament, he's absolutely useless against Di Miranda down there. If I'm the coach, I'm going to be looking at that one a little bit closely.
Ortega can't score, but Blancas corrals the rebound and gets it back to Ortega with a fresh 24. Ortega bumped now again, and it looks like this will be Marcos de Silva picking up that foul. And for De Silva, that's his first. Team fouls 4th. So 1 away from the bonus for the Mexicans as Ortega now coming off the screen, trying to work around Blancas in the corner. Nothing there. Goes back to Zavala inside for Blancas. He takes the shot from in close and scores. Nice play by Mexico to find Blancas inside. Good pass from Zavala.
Very nice play by Mexico, and the Brazilians with good help defense there, but they still had the guy picked out, and Mexicans sharp enough to hit the open man.
Marcos de Silva now working on the perimeter. Gets a look at a long 2. Shot is up, and that one rims around and drops for Marcos de Silva. Used every inch of the rim before decided to go down, Tim.
That's right, and by the time that ball went in, De Silva was already back on defense over center.
10-point Brazil lead. They've been in control here in the first. Tough shot as Ortega, the running right-hander, a little strong. Back the other way comes Brazil. Nice pass to Silva. Thought about going to Pessoa and then kept it, and he is out of bounds. I think Pessoa wanted that pass, but Eric de Silva just wasn't ready to pull the trigger. As a result, out of bounds. Turnover back to Mexico. We'll see if they can take advantage, trailing by 10.
Well, Ortega with the runner down there having to shoot that one because he had the players in the key and really not available for passes. And coming back the other way, Eric de Silva just hesitating a little bit too long and going out of bounds.
Ortega working off the Blancas screen. Wanted to find Blancas getting through, but Marcos de Silva giving him no room. Now Ortega will take the shot. That one short. Rebound Marcos de Silva, and he finds the streaking Pessoa all the way in. Right-hand layup is up and good, and there's the transition that Brazil has been so effective with throughout this tournament.
That's right, and we've seen Pessoa do that time after time after time after time, and the Mexicans, when the shooter is the last man back, that's not a good thing because while the shooter is following through, the Brazilians are taking off.
Zavala inside. Nice pass to Blancas. Can't convert. Tapped around, but a foul will be called. That one will go against Eric de Silva. And Blancas wants a shooting foul there. We'll see if he gets that from the referee. No, it's be on the baseline. That's Eric De Silva's second, but it is their 5th foul, so it will be shooting regardless for Blancas.
Well, we expected a little better performance from the Mexicans here throughout the past many years. These Mexico-Brazil matchups have been spectacular, but right now it looks like Brazil in a class above Mexico, unless Mexico can make a few adjustments in the second quarter.
Well, you think back to that first round game where Mexico knocked off Argentina in a very close game, and what a different tournament this might be if that went the other way around. Mexico certainly taking advantage of their opportunities. They haven't been out of any game. They have had some slow starts, but their depth has been so effective that they really do wear teams down. So see if they can't trim this lead before the end of the half.
And the Brazilian mechanic over there fixing Di Miranda's chair.
Second free throw is good, 23-12, 11-point Brazilian lead. 10-second differential between the shot clock and game clock. De Silva thought about a 3, and then we'll work it around. Wanting to get it inside for Di Miranda, and looks like that foul will go against Lugo. That will be the 4th team foul against Mexico, so Brazil will get a fresh 24 and a chance to work for the last shot, leading by 11. Important for Mexico to get to stop here and give them some kind of momentum heading into the second quarter.
Well, that's their only hope, really, because unless Brazil does something...
and that's not what they wanted to see with 18 seconds left. Maybe they're a little bit quick on the shot from Brazil, but you got to look like that. Basket and foul for Marcos De Silva. And the way their defense has been playing, not a bad idea. 25-12, a chance to make it 26 as Marcos De Silva with his first basket of the game. Probably second basket of the game. Free throw is up and good. All Brazil here, 26-12, and putting up a huge number in this first quarter.
Boy, oh boy. And Mexico, one last chance here to get a bit of momentum.
Nice play by Blancas to go right through, goes all the way in. The layup is up and no good, and that just kills you, Tim, doesn't it?
Well, he goes practically coast to coast on that one, and Brazil,
long 3.
Brazil with a bit of a hope shot there to end the quarter, but still dominating performance by Brazil, Paul.
Well, Pessoa can't knock down the 3 at the end, but 26-12, Brazil on top. And they've done it with interior scoring. Di Miranda has 11. Eric De Silva has 6 to lead the way. Prieto with 7, all coming early for Mexico, but of course he had to sub out, and Mexico's offense has been pretty anemic since then.
Well, even the insertion of the veteran Raul Ortega into the Mexican lineup not really helping too much. Ortega having to rush a couple shots, and Mexicans really unable to penetrate the key at all. And against a team like Brazil that has a few shorter players, you think at some point you'd be able to get a mismatch and pound inside, but Brazilian chair defense just so much superior. You know, last night we spoke with Canada's Adam Lancey after the Brazil game, and he talked about the difference with this Brazilian team, saying that they'd always been athletic and highly skilled, but it would be a team of 5 guys each playing their own little game out there, and said the difference now is that they're still athletic, they're still skilled, but they're now playing together as a unit, and unfortunately Mexico is finding out that lesson the hard way as they're down by 14 after the first quarter.
Well, bronze medal game where after 26-12, Brazil leading Mexico, and of course we will have the gold medal match between Canada and the U.S. after this game at roughly 3 o'clock Pacific, 6 o'clock Eastern, a little behind because of the overtime game. 7th and 8th place game, it was Venezuela over Jamaica to capture 7th place, and as we saw here on sportscanada.tv, it was the Argentinians taking the 5th place game in overtime over Colombia in what was a pretty entertaining game from start to finish.
Well, anytime you get an overtime game, you know it's got to be a good one, and the Argentinians there and Colombians battling pretty well back and forth throughout regulation time, and Argentina with a couple of chances to win it in regulation, and young Ruggieri missing a layup, but they were able to coast away in the overtime period for the comfortable victory in the 5th place. Talking with Gustavo Villafoni after the game, the Argentinian star player, and obviously tremendously disappointed that they weren't in this 3rd place match. They really felt they had a shot at it, and I'm sure we'll see a lot from the Argentinians in the future.
Well, it's Garcia now with it for Mexico. Pass inside to Blancas is a good one, and nice job for Mexico right out of the quarter break.
Well, that's the mismatch we're talking about, the taller Blancas against the shorter Pessoa, and Mexico off to a good start. They pile up on Interstate 5 there.
Nascimento into the game for Brazil, seeing his first action along with Soares. Soares shot up, no good. Rebound controlled by Garcia.
Well, let's see if Mexico can take advantage of the fact that...
and the shot is up and no good, but the offensive foul called. Tough call, Zavala. What a swing that is. Thought he might be shooting for the 3-point play. Instead, it is a foul. Zavala, that is his first, but the ball will go back to Brazil. Tough break that time.
That's right. Zavala coasting down the wing with the ball there, had plenty of time to manage his chair, and the Brazilian player getting good chair position, and offensive foul being called.
Beautiful reverse layup that time by Pessoa, and what could have been a 9-point lead is now a 14-point lead. Ortega now working against Di Miranda. Inside, nice pass, reverse layup from Lugo, won't go. And back comes Brazil. Leak out pass for Pessoa. Nice job to get chair position, layup up, and that one won't go. Rebound handled by
Pessoa taking a rather unusual angle to the basket there. He had a little trouble corralling the ball, so he ended up underneath the hoop and having to use that left hand, and obviously not as effective.
Garcia to Zavala. Zavala controls, his shot is up and good. Nice pass from Garcia as Mexico a little bit of life here in this quarter. Cuts the lead back down to 12. Eric De Silva back to Nascimento. Nascimento trying to turn the corner on Ortega. Now great pass back to De Silva, and he is fouled, and that will be an intentional foul.
Well, the excuse me, the Mexican player completely out of the play, reached forward and fouled Eric De Silva. No chance at all of playing the ball, and that's what that unsportsmanlike call is all about. And Brazil now with 2 shots in the ball, comfortable 12-point lead. Mexico, this is really their chance to get back in the game. The Di Miranda and Marcos De Silva sitting on the bench. This is a great opportunity for Mexico. Let's see how they do.
Well, Di Miranda's still in for Brazil, but Marcos De Silva is on the bench.
Sorry.
But like you said, I mean, it's such a big difference with Marcos De Silva not in the game, and Mexico really needs to make a run here and force Brazil to get him back in.
And apparently neither am I.
Nascimento with a cross-court pass to Eric De Silva. Inside looking for Di Miranda, but it goes right to Nascimento, who calmly knocks down the free throw line shot. And the Brazilian train keeps on rolling, 33-16. Zavala thought about going deep to Ortega, but then dumps it off to Blancas. Blancas now to Ortega, working against Di Miranda. Nice turn back. Thought about a shot, now goes away, looking again back, trying to get it into Zavala, not there. Instead, he goes back to Lugo. Lugo gets it tipped. Ortega with 4 on the shot clock. Waiting, now gets it up and count the basket and the foul. So calm on that baseline was Raul Ortega. Took his time, looked for the best opportunity, realized it was to shoot, and knocked it down.
Well, not getting a lot of help from his teammates there. They had the mismatch on the far side with Zavala, and then Garcia came rolling over and pretty well took that possibility away. So Ortega forced to do it all himself, and he does.
First free throw, or pardon me, the only free throw for Ortega is no good. Rebound Brazil, and back they come. Eric De Silva over center for Nascimento. Nascimento working on Garcia. Now goes to Soares. Soares shot from the baseline won't go. Rebound controlled by Garcia, and he gets it out to Blancas, who finds Zavala. Zavala back to Blancas, and he will go in. Looking one pass too many, is trying to find Ortega. And that's a squandered opportunity. Zavala does take the shot. That one is short, and Mexico's got to convert on a play like that.
Oh boy. I mean, 3-on-1 basically, and Mexico, all three players playing the same position. So those of you watching at home, you might want to spread out on that 3-on-1 next time you get the opportunity.
Will Zavala tied up in the open court, but gets right back up. Ortega for Garcia. Garcia gets the shot off and knocks it down. Nice pass from Ortega. And Brazil takes a timeout as Brazilian coaching staff not happy with the ease in which Mexico has started to get their looks in the last few possessions.
That's right. Mexico playing much better on the offensive end, but unfortunately defensively still uncharacteristically porous. The Mexican players with good chair skills, good strength, good mid-class players, but still allowing the Brazilians to score at will and still allowing that Brazilian fast break to get those easy baskets. And you know, there's nothing worse than having to fight like crazy for your basket like Ortega just did, and then having the opponents come back and score an easy one. It's got to be frustrating for the Mexicans.
Well, just under 6 minutes to go here in the first half of the bronze medal game. Brazil leading Mexico 33-20. And they've done it primarily with inside scoring. Di Miranda with 11, Eric Da Silva with 8 to lead the way for Brazil. On the other side, Edward Prieto with 7, all of those coming in the first couple of minutes, and we have not seen him since.
There's a few changes now for the Brazilians.
Da Silva and Anderson Silva into the game, and Pessoa and Soares are out.
So the Brazilians going with the 3 tall players, Nascimento, Di Miranda, and Eric Da Silva. The 2 speedy players, Marcos Da Silva and Anderson Silva. And it's the short players getting inside on Mexico, getting chair position against the much taller Mexican.
Actually, it's not Anderson Silva. Actually, it is Carvalho who's back into the game for Brazil.
Oh, okay.
Still have yet to see De Lima for the Brazilians, who had such a strong game yesterday against Canada.
3-second violation by the looks of it.
Back comes Brazil. Nascimento will control for the Brazilians. 15-point Brazil lead here in the first half. Just under 6 minutes to go. Nascimento working on Ortega. He's got Di Miranda inside, goes cross court to Eric Da Silva, but a foul called, and that will go against Raul Ortega. Brazil ball, they will inbound on the baseline. Marcos Da Silva sure had an outstanding tournament here for the Brazilians. His 12.8 points a game puts him in the top 10, but 3-second call against Brazil, that basket will not count. He's also 16th in rebounding with 5.6. First in assists with 6.4. He's done pretty much everything. 3-point percentage is up there in every statistical category. Marcos Da Silva is making his presence felt one way or the other. Ortega goes back to Zavala. With 10 on the shot clock, he circles around back to Ortega, gets the shot up and knocks it down. Nice little right-handed scoop on the baseline. Tough shot as he was on the move, but the veteran calmly knocks it down.
And managed to maintain his focus. A great play by Raul Ortega there.
13-point Brazil lead. Mexico staying within striking distance. Da Silva lob pass for Eric Da Silva, just out of his reach, out of bounds, back to Mexico.
Well,
see if they can
Zavala
take
down
advantage.
there on defense, just getting beaten time after time after time after time. You know, at some point, you got to think that Prieto is going to come back in there to provide a little muscle underneath the hoop. Brazil getting inside the key at will.
I mean, Zavala is your captain and your leader, but how long do you stay with him, especially with the start that Prieto had as Zavala scores at that end right now? As if he can hear us from the booth, he shuts us both up with a uncontested layup. The lead now down to 11 as the Mexicans not going away here. Da Silva, pass inside for De Lima. Nice hands Shot is up, and that one rims out. Won't go. Rebound for Garcia. Gets it to Lugo, who gets it out to Ortega. Ortega working against Carvalho now, and then he gets back in the middle. Thought about going to Garcia. Now waits, spins a little bit. Now he'll take the shot and knock it down, and that is what they need from Raul Ortega. Great decision as he wheeled and dealed inside, froze the defenders by looking off at a couple of passing options, and then calmly dropped down the 11-foot shot.
Yeah, well, Mexico scoring that one in transition before Brazil was able to get their perimeter defense set up, and Ortega allowed the score from inside the foul line, which the Mexicans have to do a lot more of if they want to get back in this game.
Well, as Marcos da Silva has done time and time again in this tournament, every time it looks like the opposing team making a little run, he'll knock down a bit of a back-breaking shot and just take a little of the wind out of their sails.
And here
Ortega.
we see the Mexicans in trouble again, fast break-wise.
Da Silva all the way in for the lay, and that one won't go. Rebound controlled by Garcia, and back the other way come Mexico. Zavala thought about going to Ortega. Now he will hold it up. Backside for Lugo. Lugo to Garcia for Ortega. Gets a good look at a three. That one won't go. That would have been a big shot, but he gets his own rebound. And Nascimento was long gone, so someone is open. Ortega will wait. Now he'll take the shot, and that one goes. And I guess that's the price you pay for that transition style for Brazil. You get the layups, but sometimes you give up those shots as well.
Well, that's right, too. And it depends where the flyer comes from. If he comes from the ball side, that's a bit of a problem because it leaves the shooter wide open to receive the offensive rebound.
Eric da Silva right back on the inside with the easy one. Gets the lead back up to 11, 39-28. Brazil on top with 2.5 to go here in the first half. And that foul will go against the Brazilians.
Brazil's foul is on number 4, Nascimento. That's his first personal foul, team foul number 2.
Only the second team foul for the Brazilians, who are still a ways from the bonus.
Game of the game for Brazil.
As now Anderson Silva checks in, along with De Lima. And Everaldo de Lima also into the game for the Brazilians.
Well, a chance here for Mexico to gain a slight advantage. They've got a bit of a height advantage now on the at the middle end of the lineup against the Brazilians, and
Garcia knocks
see if they
down
can
the shot.
capitalize. 9 points down with about 2 minutes to go.
Well, nice little run here from Mexico as Garcia knocks down the shot as they become much more efficient. De Lima puts it lob pass in, looking for Da Silva. That was
The entire Mexican bench making that call, the correct call, of course.
that's Luciano Da Silva, and that goes out of bounds back to Mexico. Chance to cut this lead to 7, even 6 if they can knock down a 3 here with 2 minutes to go in the first half.
Well, the Brazilians going deep into their bench, and this is Mexico's opportunity to capitalize.
Zavala now thinks about a shot, waits on it. Now he will shoot it and knock it down. Big shot from Zavala, and the lead is cut to 7. Marcos da Silva subs out. 6 straight points for Mexico.
Exactly. It's his defense that really does it, but the Brazilians
De Lima to Da Silva.
just
Basket goes, but
sprinting
will not
down
count.
and waltzing around the Mexican defenders into the low block position. You know, the Mexicans have to do a better job in that low block defense. They're just letting Brazil just crash in without any resistance whatsoever.
Anderson Silva now working against Garcia. Inside to Da Silva. Da Silva gets the shot up. That is short. Rebound controlled nicely by Blancas, and back comes Mexico trying to cut
Mexico
this
with a
lead
chance,
even further.
For some open court play here again.
Zavala working on De Lima. Now gets the shot off from about, oh no, nice pass
Oh,
inside.
lovely play.
Beautiful feed. Fooled everyone, including me up here in the broadcast booth.
That's right.
And inside to Blancas for the easy layup. Mexico on a nice run here, 39-34.
With under a minute to go in the second quarter, we'll see.
De Lima gets a shot up. That one won't go. Rebound Zavala, and foul committed by Luciano Da Silva.
I don't think they're in bonus yet.
No, I think
though.
they went away. It's third for his. They have 2 fouls, still with 1 to give here with under a minute to go, and see if Brazil takes advantage.
Well, you make one mistake and you're out of the game there. Nathaniel De Silva coming in place of
5-point lead. That foul called on Anderson Silva. That's the 4th team foul, so no more to give now for Brazil, and we'll see what Mexico can do.
45 seconds left in the first half, down by 5. Mexico really looking to get a quality early shot here.
Yeah.
Brazil will come back. Obviously, Mexico likely to get one more possession at least, so Mexicans with a chance here to really close the gap. A score, a stop, and a score. And
well, Zavala knows the clock, and he takes it up. That one just halfway down, won't go. Rebound goes back to Zavala, who gets it out to Blancas, and now with a 9-second differential, see what Mexico does here. Zavala working against Silva. Nice screen, but a foul called on the backside against De Lima, and that should put Blancas on the line here with 24 seconds exactly, 24.1 left in this first half.
Well, Mexico with a chance there to get a shot with maybe 8 or 10 seconds left, maybe a chance to play tough defense. Now, no matter which way things go, Brazil will get one good, long, full possession to end the half.
Free throw is up and good for Blancas. The lead now cut to 4 points at 39-35. Second one is up and no good. Zavala controls the rebound. Gets it right back up. That one won't go. I get another crack at it. Instead, he kicks it out as it is Lugo, and they'll get to work for the last shot now. Blancas spinning away from Anderson Silva, trying to find some room inside. Gets it to Ortega, flying in on that baseline, spins back away, gets it back to Zavala. He gets a good look at a 3, but passes it up. Instead, goes inside, and that is Lugo's shot up. That is well short, tapped around, off of Blancas, out of bounds, back to Brazil with 1.6 to go. Great opportunity there for Mexico to trim this lead even further.
Well, Mexico definitely carrying the play for the entire final minute of the second quarter, but unable to achieve any kind of success in terms of scoring, and still not a bad comeback by the Mexicans. Down just 4 points at halftime.
Well, 39-35, Brazil leading Mexico. It was all Brazil early, led by as many as 14 points, but Mexico comes charging back at the end of that half, led by their team play. They got it from all kinds of different places. Prieto still with 7, Zavala 6, Blancas 8, Ortega 8. Really a balanced attack for the Mexicans. We'll see if they can carry that into the second half. Bronze medal action. We've got the gold medal match coming up after this. Stay with us for second half action in just a few moments. And we are back for the second half of bronze medal action. It looked like Brazil was going to take control in this game as they came out to a very fast start, scoring inside, and looked like they were well on their way to punching their ticket to England. But Mexico, with a spirited finish to that first half, are right back in this game, Tim.
Well, that's right, and well, they're down 6 now, but oh no, they're not. They're down 5.
Yeah, no, we had talked about that a bit at the half there. The cyber sports were different from the game clock, and the officials went in, conversed, looked it over, and I guess something that they had given them 3 for was actually a 2, and the score actually was 38-35, so Mexico was within 3, and now it is 5 after the Marcos de Silva shot, as he's done so often, stopping the Mexican run with his perimeter shooting.
Well, Marcos de Silva out of the game for a few moments in the second quarter, allowing Mexico to get back in it, and the Brazilian coach not taking any chances, with Di Miranda back in there, Eric De Silva back in there, and Marcos De Silva back in there.
Well, Marcos De Silva reminding Mexico whose game this is as Pessoa knocks one down, and Brazil picks up right where they left off with another fast start.
That's right. Mexico really needed to come out of the blocks here in a hurry, and this has got to be disappointing for them as Ortega trying to hit the 3 gets his own rebound.
Working around, Pessoa gives it back to Zavala with 18 on the shot clock. Zavala thinks about it too. Now takes the long 2. That one misses everything. And back to Eric De Silva. Back comes Brazil, out to Marcos. 3 players already in double figures for the Brazilians. Eric De Silva, Marcos De Silva, and Di Miranda. Ortega with the steal there, and back the other way comes Garcia for Mexico. For Zavala, who finds Blancas. Back to Zavala. Nice play by Eric De Silva to tip it away and then track it down.
Oh, beautiful play by Eric De Silva. Just got a piece of that ball and then was able to complete the interception by picking up that the deflection.
Marcos De Silva now thinks about a shot. Now he looking inside, and I believe 3 seconds called as De Miranda thought he was going to get the entry pass, but Marcos De Silva a little bit held on to that one a little bit too long, and 3 seconds goes back to Mexico.
Marcos De Silva with a fake shot, and De Miranda stranded inside the key.
And here's Raul Ortega for Garcia. Garcia back to Zavala. Zavala working against Marcos De Silva. Inside to Ortega. Nice pass as Ortega gets it up quickly, but a little too strong. Rebound De Miranda, and there's that transition as back comes Brazil. Marcos De Silva walks right in for the easy lay-in, and that counterattack has been so lethal for the Brazilians in this tournament.
Well, the Mexicans, Ortega normally playing at the point and providing that coverage on transition there, but with Ortega driving the lane, you know, someone else has to get back on defense early, and Mexicans paying dearly for that little miscue.
Big shot by Lugo to stop the Brazilian run there as cuts the lead back down to 7. See if that calms down this Mexican side a little bit. Marcos De Silva now streaking to the hoop. That time was Pessoa. De Miranda wants that ball, doesn't get it. Rebound comes back to Garcia, and back comes Mexico. Well, it was all De Miranda early, and he hasn't had a touch here in the second half. So Mexico adjusting defensively a little bit. Nice pass to Zavala. Up with the right hand is good, and all of a sudden Mexico strings together back-to-back baskets, and it's back to 5.
Well, Zavala there awfully quiet for most of that first half, coming through with a brilliant high-speed layup. Just a nice touch shot off the backboard.
Marcos De Silva pass inside, and there's the pass to De Miranda. Takes his time, gets it up, won't go. Rebound, Blancas taps it out as De Miranda is down. See if Mexico can take advantage, but De Miranda gets right back up.
2-on-1.
Zavala inside, shot is up, won't go, but he is fouled, and that'll be an intentional foul called against Marcos De Silva. And thought he was just trying to get decent chair position. I'm not sure if he even used his hands at all on that one. I didn't get a great look. Did you, Tim?
It looked like he actually he was dangerously close to actually drawing the offensive foul, and how that's intentional, you know, and that's really the first mistake we've seen, or in our opinion at least, we've seen the Canadian ref Guillain Lapointe from Montreal make. Bit of an unusual call, but certainly a chance here for Mexico to take advantage of the situation, and Zavala nails the first one.
Well, I mean, the collision was pretty strong. It was a hard collision, and maybe that influenced the referee a little bit. I'm not sure, but end result, 2 free throws for Zavala. He makes no mistake knocking them both down, and all of a sudden it's back down to a 3-point game, and Mexico will have a chance to cut that even further, Tim.
That's right, and with my luck, when we look at the replay, Lapointe will be exonerated.
Ortega hits it around to Zavala. Zavala, a lot of room on that baseline, gets the shot up and knocks it down. 1 point Brazilian lead as Mexico, awfully resilient, just won't go down, will they?
That's right, and that's the Zavala we know. You know, the guy that just knocks him down from the inside, knocks him down from the outside. And the Brazilians, they're falling back a little bit on defense, allowing the Mexicans to run a set offensive play, and Mexicans executing perfectly.
Well, Marcos De Silva with a miss, and Mexico now with a chance to take their first lead of this game. Shot on the baseline from Garcia won't go, but Ortega with the putback, and Mexico on top, 45-44 for the first time in this game. A nice job from Ortega to get to that weak side and clean up the Garcia miss.
Well, that's right, reaching above the slightly shorter Marcos De Silva and making no mistake.
Marcos comes off of the screen from Carvalho inside to De Miranda. His shot is up, no good, but he is fouled as Brazil finally able to get it back to De Miranda, and as soon as they do, he will go to the free throw line with a chance to give Brazil the lead again.
Well, lovely pick there by De Miranda. A little bit with the toe plates there, which caused him to take a little longer to turn around and roll to the hoop, but Mexico's help defense really not a factor at all in that play. And
First free throw's up and no good. Mexico shooting up to 42.2% in this game as they've really heated up since the second quarter. Brazil still on fire at 54%, but those two free throws won't go. Zavala controls the rebound as Mexico can add to their lead. Zavala now. Nice play by Pessoa to work it out. Long pass right into the hands of Blancas. Blancas gets it to Ortega with a little bit of room. Waits, shot is up. That one won't go. Rebound Di Miranda, and he finds the streaking Eric Da Silva, who will walk in and give Brazil the lead again.
Boy, oh boy, opportunity there for Mexico to make a statement with that fast break, and here we go again.
Back comes Mexico with the transition basket. That one won't go, but again, Ortega with the cleanup. He's trying to get assists out there, but his teammates are just not making it happen, so he's just going to do it himself.
What the heck, eh?
Mexican bench very boisterous now as they've got a 1-point lead. Marcos Da Silva coming off the Di Miranda screen. Shot is up and good for Marcos Da Silva, who continues to make clutch outside shots for this Brazilian team in the lead. Back to Brazil. Di Miranda gets a piece of it, goes to Blancas, finds Garcia, and he is fouled.
Well, Zavala
Actually,
fouled
I believe it was
by Pessoa, I think.
And that will give Mexico a fresh 24. Anderson Silva into the game for Brazil, along with Alex Alves.
And the
De
Brazilian,
Lima as well.
the Brazilian press, very effective for most of the tournament against all of the teams. Very effective against Mexico early, but now all of a sudden Mexico able to break through and are getting lots of fast break opportunities. But an offensive foul there,
Garcia.
the illegal moving screen. When you set a screen or set a pick on someone, you have to be stopped, and that time the Mexican player is still moving.
Well, smaller Brazilian lineup out there now, possibly to try to get back into that pressing mode. Da Silva gets another good look and makes that one. Hits off the front rim, off and back comes Mexico. Garcia has got Blancas with them. They got to get it over that center line.
Mexico's don't have the ball over center, let alone even a player, and it was an 8-second violation.
Turnover for Mexico as the Brazilian pressure does its job on the missed shot. It will go back to Brazil with a 1-point lead, trying to add to that with just over 3 minutes to go in the third. De Lima. And now an offensive foul called the other way, that one against Pessoa, so the referee's tightening up a little bit.
Well, it's cool here in the Olympic Oval in Richmond, British Columbia, but the action on the court, anything but, as Mexico just battling tooth and nail here with the Brazilians, down only one with 3 minutes to go in the third quarter.
Pass comes in for Vasquez just into the game for Mexico. Trying to find someone getting up before, but he's being pressured by Da Silva. Now gets it over top, corralled nicely by Garcia. Doesn't get a look, he's got Zavala underneath, didn't see him. Instead, it is Blancas. Pass inside, now Zavala waiting on it, gets the shot up, and that one won't go. Tapped away, out of bounds, back to Brazil. Well, it's a Zavala, Ortega, Vasquez, Blancos, and Garcia for Mexico. The Brazilians have Pessoa, De Lima, Marcos Da Silva, Anderson Silva, and Alex Alves on the floor for them. Anderson Silva gets it off to De Lima. His shot is up and good. 3-point lead for Brazil. De Lima making shots when he's been asked to throughout this tournament. One of the unsung heroes, really hasn't got as much play maybe as Marcos Da Silva, but he really has been effective for the Brazilians.
Well, that's true. And De Lima, the older veteran of the Brazilian team, was once the Brazilian Steve Nash. That crown now held.
Huge three from Ortega, just when it looked like Brazil was going to get a defensive stop. Mexico looking a little disorganized. The always cooler than the other side of the pillow, Ortega knocks down that three to tie this game again. Little fake that time by Silva, now he gets it off. Well short rebound by Zavala. And Mexico, spirited effort. Now it's Ortega's turn to take off, working against De Silva, but that one won't go as De Silva running just enough interference. Nice job by Marcos De Silva to get back and contest without committing the foul.
That's correct. Excellent chair positioning and defense, and good court awareness to make sure that he didn't pick up a foul.
Pass inside. Pessoa gets it up and in, and doing it at both ends. Marcos De Silva finds Pessoa for the easy layup. And I mean, it's Mexicans playing very spirited basketball here without a doubt, but you have to think the ease at which Brazil is scoring might win the day by the end of this. Back comes Garcia, trying to find Ortega. Now it's Zavala against the much smaller De Lima, and that will be a gimme for Zavala inside. A nice job to recognize that by Garcia.
That's the disadvantage of going with the short lineup. Sure, you got the speed, but if they ever do get inside the key, there's going to be a height mismatch, definitely, with 4 of the 5 Mexicans taller than 4 of the 5 Brazilians.
Silva's thought about a 3, now takes the free throw line shot. That one bounces around, won't go. Rebound controlled by Brazil, as it was Marcos De Silva, and he fires it out to De Lima with 20 on the shot clock, 17-second differential. De Lima trying to find space on the baseline. Inside to Marcos De Silva. He had him open. Pass was a little too strong. And now, with 29 seconds left, Mexico will have a chance to take the lead again. Ortega spins away from Silva. Boy, he's quick, isn't he?
Oh, yeah, it's quick and smooth.
Ortega continues to work. Now off the Vasquez screen. Gets it back to Vasquez. Up with the left hand. Short on that one. Rebound Brazil. They can hold for the last shot. And there goes De Silva again. And with 5 seconds left, De Lima again, he will walk in for the uncontested layup just as time expires. And what a tough turn of events for Mexico at the end of that quarter. I mean, they're playing a great quarter, had the lead, tie game, couldn't convert it one end on the pass to Vasquez, and then right away that counterattack for Brazil for the easy layup. They go up to 54-52. Been a very entertaining game, hasn't it, Tim?
Well, certainly, and at the end of that quarter, Vasquez and Ortega working the textbook pick and roll. Ortega's pass a little short, hit Vasquez on the right shoulder. Vasquez still able to corral the ball, but not in good position to get a good shot away. All the other Mexicans caught watching that beautiful play as 3 Brazilians break out in a easy basket to end the quarter. And you know, in a game this close, a mental mistake like that by your team can really be costly. And no matter what happens at the end, we're going to look back at that moment as possibly the defining moment of the game.
Well, Marcos De Silva leading Brazil with 15 points on 7 of 12 shooting. Raul Ortega, his team leader counterpart on the other side, 15 points, 5 rebounds, 2 assists, but you can't help think that those 2 assists could be a lot higher if his teammates can finish some of these passes.
Well, that's right. His offensive rebound stats should all have been converted to assists.
Mexico trailing by 2. They will inbound to start the 4th quarter.
We've got a little problem with the clock there, as it read 9:59 instead of 10 minutes, and that's
Scores
been
table,
rectified.
trying to milk some clock.
Yeah, that's right, yeah.
Ortega now controlling, furiously trying to urge.
Perdomo, I think.
Perdomo, who's into the game for this 4th quarter, into the basket. Instead, it's Vasquez now. Vasquez working against Silva. Silva trying to put pressure on Vasquez. Vasquez gets it back to Garcia. Steps in, Garcia waiting.
Lugo actually.
Now back, and that will be 3 seconds as Garcia, with an opportunity there, just couldn't pull the trigger on that shot. Or pardon me, no, Lugo,
Lugo.
yes, yeah, pardon me, Lugo.
Yeah. Well, Lugo had a little trouble getting the ball into the shot pocket and getting his chair squared away, and unfortunately it took a little more than 3 seconds to do it, and Mexico turns the ball over.
Marcos De Silva, he's got Alves, De Lima, Silva, and Pessoa out there with him. Silva takes the long 2, knocks it down.
Well, Brazil with the all-midget lineup out there. The tallest guy out there, Class 4, Alex Alves, not exactly a gigantic Class 4. Mexicans here with a tremendous opportunity to get some height mismatches inside. And
Zavala walks right in. Hole. Not a lot De Lima could do about that.
No, and that's what Mexico has to do. I mean, they've got an opportunity here with a height advantage. And Mexico are not a slow team by any sense of the imagination. If they can effectively break the press, get into the key area, you know, they're pretty well guaranteed to have a good shooting opportunity. And Zavalas there with a lovely layup, although he was going about 140 miles an hour and possibly a tiny bit out of control.
Well, Anderson Silva knocking down that last shot for Brazil, and then with very emotional, demonstrative fist pump as he slapped the hand of the Brazilian coach on his way back on D. So love to see the emotion here in a game with so much on the line. Second free throw is up and good. Lead back down to 3. 9:09 to play. Winner goes to England. Loser will stay home. Big game, a lot more on the line than just the bronze medal, and both teams certainly playing like it. Silva, another chance at a shot, and Anderson Silva, second straight shot.
And even the Brazilian manager there, who's taking stats on the bench, up on her feet. Yet another Maria.
Nice pass finds Vasquez. Couldn't quite get in. Now looking for Lugo, and that one sails out of bounds back to Mexico, and he has Zavala streaking to the hoop, but just didn't see him.
Vasquez there, a Class 2, and the reason he's a Class 2, even though he's got a Class 3 trunk, is he's got some of the musculature in the left arm affected, or the right arm, I should say, affected, and so when he spun around, wasn't able to use his right arm because it's functionally not operational, and had to wait till he could get it to his left, and by that time the opportunity had run out. And Mexico here in a bit of trouble if they can't respond to this Brazilian run.
Anderson Silva, now he's hit back-to-back shots for Brazil to get them going. To Marcos de Silva, goes cross-court to De Lima. A lot of weapons on that perimeter right now for Brazil. Silva, De Lima, and Marcos de Silva, you really have to pay attention to all those guys, don't you, Tim?
Well, that's true. You're not going to worry about them posting you up, but definitely you're going to worry about them fast breaking. You're going to worry about them shooting from the outside, and in that case, referee Carson Railing whistling to play down because of the Brazilian player falling over in the key. And anytime you're in the key, pretty well, no matter where the ball is, you're in danger of getting hurt. And so the
Blancas back in for Mexico. Perdomo out.
Brazil with 7
Silva
seconds.
again. That one just long. Rebound into the hands of Marcos de Silva on a fresh 24 for Brazil. It's a dangerous play when you give them those second chances.
Well, especially, well, not much you can do on a long rebound like that, but certainly any offensive rebound is not a good thing.
Silva thinks about a shot, now takes it. That one won't go. Rebound handled by Zavala. And a tough foul called against Alves, as he really had no business going after that rebound in the first place.
Oh, that's right. Alves guilty of a little exuberance there, reaching in and picking up the foul. Fortunately, Mexico not in bonus yet, so Brazilians able to set up their press.
Zavala takes the pass, gets it across to Blancas, and that's handled with relative ease from the Mexicans. Still not out of the woods yet, but Blancas does turn the corner now and will work against Pessoa. Gives it up, looking for Zavala, and that's tipped away, but back to Mexico. And I believe the shot clock will be down around 10.
Well, the shot clock operators probably thinking that it was the Brazilian or the Mexican that threw that ball out of bounds, but in fact tipped by a Brazilian, and we have the reset to 12, Paul.
12 seconds on the shot clock for Mexico. See what they can get, trailing by 5. Ortega now working with 10 on the shot clock, trying to find someone available. Nothing as it is De Lima putting pressure. Now he'll just take the shot. That one won't go into the hand, just out of the reach of the Mexican player Lugo. Back comes De Lima, waiting, circles back around, and nice poise, but can't convert. Blancas gets the rebound, and back comes Mexico, trying to chip away at this 5-point Brazilian lead. They're on a bit of a drought, haven't scored in a while. Got to think that they're going to be looking for Zavala on this one. Instead, Ortega turns around, and a huge block from Silva. Very emotional after that one.
Well, this is that Latin American emotion we've talked about all week.
Yeah.
Finally, we're seeing it from both teams as the Mexicans and the Mexican bench very excited. The Brazilian bench chanting. The Brazilian players on the court, fist pumping and high-fiving at every opportunity. So definitely the rivalry continues here.
Tough shot by Blancas as Ortega found him late. Not an easy basket at all. Mexico's got to hope to score a little bit easier than that down the stretch, but they have cut the lead to 3 with under 7 to go. Hang on to your hats, folks. This is going to be a great finish. It looks like this is really turning out to be a classic. Silva in for Alves. A hold called against Mexico, and I believe that one will be against Lugo, but I'm not sure. Actually be on Vasquez.
Well, Vasquez committing that foul away from the play against the player who's shorter than him, not a threat, not a good foul.
Pass inside for Alves, 3 seconds called. He was in there a little early, and I mean, it's times like that where you're wondering how long the Brazilian team leaves Di Miranda and Eric Da Silva on the bench, who were so effective early in this game.
Well, if you're going to rely on outside shooting to win,
take the outside shots.
You got to take the outside shots. And
turnover from Pessoa in the backcourt as the pressure does pay dividends there. Da Silva thought about going into Alves, now does go into him late, gives it back to Silva. Silva, another good look. He's knocked down a couple already. A lot of time to line that one up. Gets the roll and knocks it down. Third shot in for Silva, as he is now 3 of 8, but timely on his 3 shots.
Oh, no.
I don't.
That was a brutal call. I am absolutely.
Ortega in full stride. Seemed like he was well over that line.
And especially a player like Ortega, they know where they are on the court. He delayed reaching for that ball until the last possible moment, and really a bad break for Mexico there. None of their doing whatsoever. Most of their bad breaks this game they've brought on themselves, but that one's certainly not deserved.
We've got a great vantage point for that call, straight down the center line and elevated, so certainly got a good look at it from where we were sitting. Shot from Silva won't go. He's certainly not shy here in this game. He's hit 3, but he's missed 6.
Mexico on the breakout again here.
Zavala a little surprised by it, but he is bumped from behind. It will go back to Mexico.
That's right. And top marks to Zavala for being.
It's not an easy play to make when you don't think anything's going to happen, and then it all of a sudden does.
When you've drawn 2 players and the guy with the ball doesn't have anyone.
Looks like we've got a timeout coming from Mexico. 5-point lead, about 5 minutes to go. Bronze medal game. Winner goes to the World Championships. Neither of these teams are going to hold anything back down the stretch. Their tournament is over, regardless after the end of this game, but so much on the line in the next 5 minutes.
Well, that's right, and we see the Brazilian coach giving her team the instructions. You see the entire team huddled around the coach. It's exactly the same over on the Mexican side, and we see the Mexican team getting ready for their cheer over there, and great team spirit by both teams, great cohesion, great support from the bench, great enthusiasm, and a typical Mexico-Brazil matchup under 5 points, or 5 points exactly, sorry, the difference here in the game. And so many of these games have been won by one team or the other over the years by less than 5 points, so this one absolutely true to form.
60-55, 5.5 to play. Mexico with the ball, trailing by 5. For Brazil, it is Pessoa, De Lima, Marcos de Silva, Anderson Silva, and Alex Alves. And tough shot from Ortega as he tried to go over the backboard, Larry Bird-esque.
Yeah, well, Ortega there caught between a backboard and a hard place, tries to go over the top, and obviously hasn't played horse for a while, because that shot wasn't even close.
De Lima gets it inside. Pessoa, tough shot, is up and in. I'm not sure how he found the angle on that one. It had more English than Webster's dictionary on it when he let go.
Yeah, I think a little bit lucky for that one to go in, but nonetheless, Brazil with a 7-point lead now, 5 minutes to go, and Mexico really desperately needing this to get back in the game.
A big shot that time. They certainly needed that from Saul Garcia.
Well, Brazil still going with that short pressing defensive style of team that is going to be forced to shoot from the outside. The one tall guy, Alves, way out on the perimeter, and
Inside to Anderson Silva, can't handle it. Zavala ripped it away, and it will be a jump ball back to Brazil, but just 5 on the shot clock, and this is a big trip here defensively for Mexico. Would love to get a stop here and see if they can't string some hoops together at the other end.
And
Silva goes to
the byproduct
Alves.
of this, of course, the next jump ball goes to Mexico, so they will
Alves
have
to Marcos de Silva, and he is completely run over.
by Garcia,
But they rule it's out of bounds, and that will be a shot clock violation against Brazil. No, they're going to give it back to Brazil with 1 on the shot clock. 4:25 to go. Brazil's going to be careful here. Often in these situations, you try to get that lob or throw it off to somebody, you end up igniting the break for the other team.
exactly.
Marcos de Silva does
Zavala
not get
there,
that off.
Zavala should have been flying on that break, but instead he was lollygagging, and Brazil now, or Mexico now, with a chance to claw back to within 3 if they can score on this possession. They've got the open court. They've
Lugo
got,
tied up by Pessoa, lost the ball behind him, and then knocked out of bounds. It will go back to Brazil. Nice work by Pessoa to really cause problems for Lugo.
Well, Lugo really should have gotten rid of that ball a little bit earlier before that intense pressure came, and
that'll be a foul on Ortega.
Ortega with the foul, but Ortega trying to draw the foul.
Foul is on Mexico, number 5, Luis Ortega, his second personal team foul, number 2.
But only 2 team fouls at this point for Mexico. Not a bad foul by Ortega, only his second. And, you know, when you're down in the game like this, you've got to be dangerously close to bonus so that you can foul and get the ball back on the free throw shots.
5-point Brazil lead, 4 minutes left. The clock starting to become the enemy of the Mexicans now. They need to string some hoops together. De Lima for Anderson Silva. Silva's made some big shots in this game, gets it back out to De Lima. Back to Silva. And an offensive foul. That one whistled against Pessoa.
Well, Pessoa really just trying to juggle his way around and get free to get inside. And he did actually inadvertently hook the back wheels of the Mexican defender, which you know was going to be stopping that switch. So good call by referee John Burford from the United States.
And that'll be Pessoa's 5th.
Oh, so we've got the score table there. We got Marnie Abbott, Mike Prescott, Trevor Kerr, the German referee, Aaron Higgins, all checking the score sheet, and that will be Pessoa's final opportunity to play in this tournament. Paul?
Ball into the game, replacing him. Looks like it is Sorda is coming in. And that foul committed by Marcos de Silva, and I believe that will be the 5th team foul. And that will put Mexico on the free throw line.
And
it'll be Garcia shooting 2. 3:40 left, 5-point game, but Mexico in the bonus now.
well, that's the 3rd foul on Marcos de Silva, so he's not in any danger, but the danger here is that Mexico's in the bonus for no apparent reason early. Well, not early, but certainly with tons of time left in the game. We know the clock stops in the last 2 minutes of the game, every made basket, so 3 minutes and 40 seconds can be an eternity in the 4th quarter.
Nice job that time by Garcia to knock down both free throws. They were clutch. Cuts the lead to 3, 1 possession.
Well, the Mexicans high-fiving each other as they come in from that on that timeout call by Brazil. But you know, you don't want to get too excited here because it ain't over yet, Paul. You're still down by 3 if you're Mexico. The Brazilians have got a lot of weapons on the bench. Di Miranda down there, Nascimento on the bench, Eric de Silva. I mean, they can. You know, they're deep and they won't have any trouble at all in the event of foul trouble or a need for a tactical change. So we see Aaron Davila, the Mexican coach, exhorting his team on here, giving them instructions. Looks like he's very animated, but being very clear, very precise. On the other side, we can't see them, but the Brazilian coaching staff, the head coach and the assistant coach both talking at the same time. So we'll see what happens with Brazil coming out of this timeout. That's never a good sign, Paul, when you have two coaches talking at once. The players not quite sure who to listen to, and presumably the information is not conflicting. So Brazil staying with the smaller lineup.
Well, I'm a little surprised, I got to say. I mean, I certainly understand the rationale between going with a smaller, quicker pressing lineup, but I mean, Brazil was up 14 points with the big lineup in early in this game, and you have to think that they might just try going back to that. It's just, they're certainly not really looking control. I mean, defensively, they're still getting the job done, but Mexico was having so many problems with Di Miranda and Eric Da Silva early on. Big rebound by Alves, and he will go to the free throw line on the putback on the Marcos Da Silva miss. But
well, when the shortest of the big men out there crashes in and gets an offensive board, you know, as Mexico, you got to be worried about that. Mexico had three big guys in good rebounding position, but they failed to use their chair position effectively for blocking out. And
first free throw is no good.
Alves able to get in there.
3:19 to go, 3-point Brazil lead. Mexico a spirited effort as they could have folded the tent early. It looked like Brazil was just going to run all over them. But Mexico has pretty much owned the last 2.5 quarters of this game, and they trailed by just 3.
And now Mexico with an opportunity here is
Blancos looking for tipped away. Nice job by Silva. And
great defense by Silva.
Yeah.
That's a good example. We know on the score sheet that Blancos a much higher threat to score than Lugo, so Silva comes over and checks Blancos and gets the tip.
Zavala left wide open. Miscommunication that time by Brazil as the deft shooting Zavala cuts the lead to 1 with under 3 minutes left. So much on the line, 1-point game. Doesn't get any better than this, does it, Tim?
Absolutely, and don't forget, folks, the winner of this game gets to go to England to represent the Americas zone at the World Championship. The loser gets nothing.
Very ambitious 3 that time from Alves, but that would have brought this house down if he knocked that one down. Good pressure, Silva loses the handle.
I'm a little worried here about scoring punch. Sure, you can play great defense, but man, you got to be able to score. And
Ortega gets it up and knocks it down on the fly. That's a very tough shot on the left side. Mexico leads with 2:16 left, and now timeout taken by Brazil.
Well, Brazil, boy, oh boy, oh boy. Now, you know, you think about coaching strategy here. The Brazilian coach had an opportunity about 30 seconds ago to get Da Silva, Eric Da Silva, and Di Miranda back into the game. Instead, she's forced to call her second of her 3 timeouts. She has 1 timeout left now for that last 2 minutes, and we know in the last 2 minutes of the game, if the other team scores, you take a timeout, you get the ball at center. It's a great advantage for you. And Mexico here clinging now to a very slim, the slimmest of slim, 1-point lead at 63-62.
Well, I got to tell you, Tim, as good as Marcos Da Silva has been in this tournament, and he has been great, right, at times, making big shot after big shot. He's been very good in this game. You really have to be impressed with the timely leadership of Raul Ortega, almost as if he's saying to the young Marcos Da Silva, it's not quite your sport yet. I'm still the man in this sport, and he's making big shot after big play, and we haven't heard from Marcos Da Silva in a while.
And I'll tell you, Ortega doing it all very quietly too, chipping away a shot here, a shot there, a layup here, a post up there, and he's had 1-3.
Now we have Di Miranda, Eric Da Silva into the game. Well, so this is the lineup we thought we might see, and with 2:14 left, we'll see if it works for Brazil. Marcos Da Silva handling on the wing. He's got Di Miranda with him. Suarez and Carvalho. Da Silva jumper, got it. Well, big shot, as if he heard me in the booth.
Well, the Mexican big man in there forcing the Brazilian big man forcing the Mexicans to pack it in a little bit for fear of giving up an easy inside shot and leaving Marcos Da Silva all alone behind the screen, and he shows why he's the Brazilian Steve Nash.
And Ortega comes right back for 3. And I got to tell you, Tim, this is shades of Larry Bird, Dominique Wilkins matching each other shot for shot.
Right. You know, the other 4 guys at each team might as well go sit down and let these 2 play one-on-one, because that's what it's turning out to be.
Pass inside, foul committed. And we're on a bit of a scaffold here, Tim, and I almost just bought it after that Ortega shot. I was about 3 feet up, the chair sliding, so I had a feeling that Ortega was going to match that De Silva shot. You could just sort of see it, his reaction when it had originally gone. And now another foul inside, as that will be the 4th team foul, a couple to give still for Mexico. Next one will put Brazil on the line.
Well, the insertion into the lineup of the rather large Di Miranda and the fairly good size Eric De Silva, giving the Mexican half-court defense fits at this point, and causing them to pick up foul after foul, and we'll see.
So looking for Di Miranda. That's tapped away by Zavala.
Stolen by Zavala.
And a loose ball and a foul called. Not sure who that's going to go against.
Di Miranda, I think.
And it will be Di Miranda, and that will send Zavala to the line, where he has been very good in this tournament. Well, Zavala on the free throw line has been 3 for 4 in this game.
I'm telling you, if I was a betting man, based on what I've seen this tournament with the head-to-head matchups of various teams, you'd have to favor Brazil by a bit anyway. And all of a sudden, with 1:19 to go, Mexico up 66-64. A chance here for Zavala, who's a very good free throw shooter, to widen the gap.
First free throw is up and good, makes no mistake. You know, Mexico, they're almost like a machine, the way that they just don't react one way or the other. They got absolutely trounced by the United States, but it's almost as if they were sitting there saying, save it, we got another game tomorrow, we'll see what happens. They got blown out of the doors by Brazil. They don't show a ton of emotion on the floor, but they just get it done one way or the other. And 2 free throws from Zavala, and free throw shooting a big reason why as well, as they're 10 of 14 in this game compared to just 4 of 8. Pass inside for Eric De Silva, a little bit too long. Rebound corralled by Mexico with a minute to play and a 4-point lead.
Because Ortega was wide open, and
that's tapped out.
And foot plates down, that's a violation on that play. And
back to Brazil with 55 seconds.
You know, Mexico, no need to play like their hair's on fire, but they are. And Brazil here with an opportunity to for at least 2 more possessions, and possibly more if they're able to foul.
Foul whistled. The shot will not count.
I believe that'll be a shooting foul now. I think that was the 5th.
Yeah, there will be the 5th.
Ortega's 3rd foul, so Ortega not in any trouble whatsoever. And unfortunately, fouling the wrong guy in Eric De Silva. Eric De Silva, a solid
knocks down the first
75% free throw shooter. So chance to score with the clock stopped for Eric De Silva.
Second free throw makes no mistake, as we're getting some clutch free throw shooting now. Just under 48 to play. Mexico by 2. Ortega, if you just joining us, hits a big 3. Brazil comes back, knocks down a couple of free throws after Zavala makes it a 4-point lead. It has been absolutely back and forth, extremely entertaining. We expected nothing less from these 2 teams, considering what's at stake, a berth in the World Championships. But could you ever have anticipated this, Tim?
Well, I certainly didn't expect Mexico to be ahead at this point in the game. I thought we'd see Brazil, after they jumped out to that early lead, looked like they were going to dominate, things going, absolutely everything going their way, and then Mexico quietly, slowly clawing back, possession by possession by possession, steadily drawing into the lead. And now with 47 seconds left, they get the ball at center on that timeout, and they're going to get a couple of possessions out of the deal here, and we'll see how they respond, and we'll see what kind of mettle, I guess, the Brazilians have, whether they can prove that their win in the 2007 qualifying tournament was not a lucky one. And
well, we're certainly going to have to be paying attention to Marcos De Silva here, but first order business for Brazil. They got to get a stop.
That's right. And
Ortega works off of the Garcia screen. Trying to get it inside for Zavala with 6 on the shot clock. Time running out. 5. He's got to get something off. Gets it off. Shot just gets it off in time. Banks it up. No good. Rebound caroled by Mexico. Great heads-up play that time by Luis Blancas to track down that offensive rebound.
Well, a greater heads-up play by Marcos de Silva to foul right away.
And let's see what looks like they'd originally called a foul. And now I think that they're not calling a foul. They're just giving the ball back to Mexico.
We'll have to wait and see what's Mexico calling a timeout here. 19.9 seconds left. Mexico clinging to a 2-point lead, 68-66. A little confusion there. We think that it's only an out-of-bounds play, not a foul.
Well, Brazil certainly going to have to foul right away, and you have to think that Mexico is going to want to get the ball into the hands of Zavala or Ortega in this situation.
Well, exactly. Those are your free throw shooters, and Zavala calmly knocking down the last 2 free throws. He would probably be my pick. And when you look down at the Mexican timeout there, it's Raul Ortega speaking with his team, and the coach, Aaron Davila, recognizing that you know what, this guy is the leader of this team.
Yeah.
Let's let him talk and calm everybody down, and off we go. So.
Well, Ortega seemed quiet and unassuming last night in the semifinal game, but he's been anything but. 20 points, 5 rebounds, 3 assists. But boy, has he been clutch down the stretch, and now we see him in the timeout leading this team. Zavala controls, so he'll probably hold on to it, and he is fouled by Marcos de Silva. So Zavala will go to the line with a chance to possibly ice this game if he can make it a 2-possession game, but certainly 17 more seconds, plenty of time in the international game.
For Marcos de Silva to go down there and score a 3. So we are in for a very exciting finish. For those of you watching around the world, this is a real treat, a classic Latin American matchup between Mexico and Brazil. Every single game they've had over the past 2 decades being a close game. This one, no exception, as Mexico
Zavala makes both huge free throws.
Tries to avenge the 2007 loss in the Americas qualifying tournament, the Americas Cup, and Marcos de Silva fouled there by Lugo, but
finds Di Miranda right away for the layup, and they scored quickly, which is what they needed to do. 6.7, they'll have to foul right away, trailing by 2. Pass in, Zavala does get it.
Well,
they're not fouling, they're staying up, and now they foul with 2.8 seconds. A little surprised that they didn't go for the foul right away. I'm not sure what Eric de Silva was thinking, allowing Zavala to just stay there.
Oh, brother, that's a that's a big mistake by the Brazilians. 6.7 seconds is not a lot of time, but it's a heck of a lot better than 2.8. And
well, if
Zavala, the best free throw shooter, wisely hanging onto the ball down there, and a chance here for Mexico to, oh boy.
First one is good, so
that's his
Zavala can ice it here.
Row.
Zavala can ice it here. He's absolutely been outstanding from the free throw line. Points number 22, and this is number 23, but waved off by the official.
Oh my goodness.
Huh.
So a chance here for Brazil to tie
That's
it.
the worst possible thing that could have happened with a timeout. Brazil can advance the ball if they have a timeout.
Well, they don't have a timeout. I don't think they use them.
There's a long pass. It will get to Di Miranda. He will get a look. Get some room.
Let him shoot.
Gets it off.
And nobody cares because it's a 3-point lead for Mexico, and a 2-pointer will do them no good. Foul would have been the worst thing for Mexico to do. Brilliant strategy by Mexico at the end to allow Di Miranda to waltz right in. Horrible strategy by Di Miranda.
I can't understand why he didn't. It looked like he was going to negotiate some space on that far 3-point line, and then at the last second he just turned the corner.
The Mexican team jubilant here. They have just won a trip to England for the 2010 Birmingham World Championships, and this rivalry just keeps on going, and Brazil having a tremendous tournament, leading Mexico in virtually every category on the statistical sheet. in the head-to-head matchups against like opponents. Again, Brazil way ahead. Brazil starting the game with a tremendous lead, and Mexico quietly under the leadership of their veteran leader, Raul Ortega, clawing back, going into the lead with a few moments left in the game, and then playing a very smart game in the last couple of minutes of play to win the trip to England.
Well, how do you top that if you're Canada-U.S.? Outstanding game, end-to-end. We saw great players from great plays. Both Zavala and Ortega, obviously, for Mexico with huge games. Marcos da Silva didn't disappoint, the Brazilian fast-breaking style. We got a little bit of everything. And stay with us, because it looks like we're going to have a post-game interview with Raul Ortega. You won't want to miss that. Just qualified for world-class player. We'll be back with that in just a few moments' time. For Tim Frick, I'm Paul Curenza on SportsCanada.tv.